Hello and welcome to the world's fastest analyst death segment. Yes, indeed, after what has been the most absurd 6 overtime game, we're going to go attempt to do everything we need to do, our responsibilities, nice and quickly. In fact, I'll even talk quickly if you want me to. My Twitter is, my name is Machine. I'm joined by some lovely people. I've got, of course, Chad Birch and, of course, Yanko Pavlovich. It's great to have you here. Now, of course, with those introductions done, we have to talk about FaZe. FaZe is the focus of this one. Gentlemen, one of the first things first, the odds, of course, Betway.
Sure.
If there was a way to bet, Betway is the way.
Would you have bet that the last game would have gone to some crazy overtime?
I'm not a betting man, but if I was betting on it, the odds would be here. 237 to 145.
They're pretty accurate. I'll go with that.
Yeah, Mousesports underdogs in this one, Yanko?
Sure.
I can't even talk at this speed, let alone that fast, Alex. I'm impressed.
Cheers, man. I'm not sure how it happens. But there we go. So,
I'm
again,
not a betting man. I like
where
my
are these
job.
coming from?
This has to be. Someone's rigging
Someone's
this.
messing up.
Yeah.
Hashtag ESL One. If you want to get involved, you want to tip the scale in one of the two favors, of course, not forgetting the only possible home team, home player is that of Mousesports, and currently they stand versus FaZe. Odds stacked against them according to our sponsor.
That is easy. Mouse doesn't have a Call of Duty team.
I didn't get that.
That went well and truly over my head.
It's like fan poll on Twitter, and FaZe has more fans.
Oh.
They have a COD team. It's late in the day, boys. It's fine.
No, I'm with you.
No, it's early in the evening.
It is early in the evening.
It's early in the evening. It's late in the evening as well.
This is what happens. Okay, back into succinct analysis. We're scoring off Mouse. We've already talked about them, so let's focus this.
Just FaZe.
Yeah, screw Mouse.
Let's go this onto FaZe. Now, of course, the interesting fact about them is that this is a top 3 team. The big 3, in fact, as we outlined in the pre-show. And I want to outline as to why, because their style has many people baffled, or at least not necessarily jumping into too much depth as to how their wins come about. Chad, if I asked you to give me kind of a TLDR of where FaZe's success and where its sources lie, what would you say?
They're brawlers. They're skilled brawlers. They'll take any situation, any little inch that's given to them, and they'll take that away from you, and they'll punish you for it time and time again. They play a very instinctual style of Counter-Strike, and it works for them. They have these loose strategies that Karrigan's come up with to fall back on when they need to. But the core of this team is raw skill, and they've all got that in-game leader feel that they're all allowed to get away with as players. They can all make those decisions that you probably shouldn't, and it pans out for them. So these guys are nutty. And
I'm making the decision that, Yanko, it's your turn to talk.
Okay, Alex.
Thanks, man. FaZe, you've got your boy Nico, and of course, ever since, even with 2 days practice, they make it to the grand finals of Katowice, and it's just not stopped rolling.
I think they're just obviously an extremely skilled team, and as Chad pointed out, they like to start out things. Everyone has freedom to go for plays. If they see an opening, they are allowed to try and take it. Then again, they have strategies that they can fall back on if things don't start working out initially for them. They're also very, very strong at force buying, the pistols, the deagles, and so forth, and just a pain in the ass to play against them.
Is it still like the case of falling back to strats? There's not something necessarily they need to start with, do you think, from what you've seen recently?
They can also start with it. I think it just... Karrigan likes to give space to his players because he has such amazing individuals, and he wants to give them, let them be comfortable. But sometimes I feel like if he knows specifically what he wants them to do, even in the beginning, they will go for something more strategic.
I mean, I have amazing individuals, and I want you guys to be comfortable too. So why don't we bring up the vetoes, and you can go ahead and do what you do best.
I thought you were going to talk about the beds we were getting brought in the back.
I would love that, like a little sleeping bag.
We're going to stay here overnight.
Yeah, I actually have a tent with me.
Maybe we should turn that into a thing. It's like ESL sleepovers.
That would be cool. We could have a little Twitch cam.
Stream.
Right,
why is Mouse playing Nuke?
Why are Mouse playing Nuke is the question. I literally just got lost in Chad's eyes, and I look back, and all the vetoes have been done.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
There's no beds on.
They're like little chestnuts, Christmas chestnuts roasting.
Inferno has a bedroom. I'm surprised that we're going to see Nuke. We were talking about how Mouse struggled with it in the EPL season. They kept picking it and losing it time and time again. But it's something that they wanted to bring into their map pool, and they were very stubborn about it. And something cool that we've touched on a lot with these guys is the fact that LMBT will have a good game plan for this situation. They've had a lot of time to think about this matchup. So,
FaZe, though? I mean, how is FaZe's
FaZe is pretty good on Nuke.
Sick.
Yeah,
so pretty sick.
So is this
top
why
team in the world on Nuke?
So what? So why is that why the question mark was thrust immediately?
I think this is maybe Mousesports preparing a little bit for this map. They don't play it that often. They played it online at Pro League finals, and they had that overtime loss very narrowly against North. So that was a good showing from them, but not that many showings on the map. Usually they veto it. Maybe you would think they would go for Train, but maybe they were scared of FaZe on Train because they played that map at the major qualifier, I think, twice. And they did have success on it. So maybe they're just cornered in this veto. FaZe has a wider map pool. Mouse Cash, I think ideally you would go for Cash, but not one of their best maps either. So
Mouse stretched thin, and we're going to go ahead and leave it there. And where is Mouse without the cheese? Your casters are ready, and it is the ever lovely, if not slightly cheesy, Henry G and Sado to guide you through Nuke.
That was probably the only cheesy thing, actually, was the throw, I think.
It's getting late. We'll give him that.
It's getting late and I don't have a sense of humor anymore. That was stolen from me.
Well,
no pun intended.
The players have been here a while. They've been kind of voicing their kind of tiredness on social media, but we finally made it. FaZe versus Mousesports, an interesting map. They did describe it as well. EPL has been a rough season for Mousesports on this particular map. They played it a lot. Didn't really get much going on it, but still, maybe they've got something up their sleeve. They've had a lot of time to think about this matchup. Like I said, the coach could bring something new to the table, an anti-strap FaZe potentially. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely something they could bring to the table. I think it's also an interesting storyline being Nico's old team, how they've played so much better since replacing him. Not really replacing him, actually losing him. Let's be honest, they would have loved to have kept him on board, but Nuke, we haven't seen this in a while.
It's a fast play here, Matt. Straight down towards the lower bomb site. The bomb will be planted as well. It's looking quite promising for Mousesports, I have to say. Killing their favor as well, but Rain deals with that problem. He takes out Oscar and is thick and fast here towards the lower bomb site. Lau opens things up with 2 frags, and now going to be a 3-on-1 situation as quick as that. We are actually into the game. But we did have an observer crash, just so you know, everyone. So I was wondering, because
I was on my preview.
You're off it as well. You don't know what's going on. But I can assure you that has happened. And unfortunately, the server crash. I have to do a radio cast for you guys. 3-on-1 now. Kiyashima, bomb down, trying to clutch this one out. Can't do it, though. Rops finds him with a Glock headshot. I assure you, that was an exciting round. It was Mousesports rushing upper, down towards the vents. Bomb planted straight away. And there it is, 1-0 on the T side here for Mousesports. Sorry about the situation there. Didn't actually quite catch it, but hopefully we'll take a pause here and we'll get right back into it. Doesn't seem like that pause has been called. I'm going to have to radio cast the second round again, Matt. Tech9s across the board. Mousesports after winning the round, Matt. This is a bit avant-garde, is it not? We've got 4 Tech9s, Mac 10 as well. Only 1 SMG and 4 pistols to rush up here on Nuke. A little bit different. Yeah,
very different. They're going to go for the boost as well toward the ramp room. You're back. I'm still not back. But that's, you know what? It's fine. I don't need it.
Come closer.
I'll stay here, thanks. That's fine. Good try. Oh, Nico takes down Halu after Halu kills Dennis. So Nico's still helping Mousesports. Perhaps there's a back-end contract we don't know about. As nonetheless, it is Nico. Back in toward the lobby, firing off some shots toward walls that he hopes people are on the other side of, but no one is. Mouse gets Oscar to take down Nico for all of the trouble that he's caused. He's now potentially given up the round with the bomb plant, so Rain does what he can. Decent tag on a Rops.
Well, very interesting situation there for Mousesports. 1 SMG, 4 pistols. It makes sense, right? Nuke, very difficult to defend with just pistols on the CT side. You've got that run and gun mentality with the Tech9s, getting straight in. Got lots of utility there. If you get the first couple of frags, bomb down as well. CT probably won't have a kit, and you can overwhelm them. So it's an interesting idea. Saves you a lot of cash, right? And if you lose that round with the bomb down, you can buy up in the next round and keep applying the pressure. Luckily for Mousesports, they do indeed win the round. And now they bring out a couple of AKs here. 2 Mac 10s as well, and a UMP for Chris J. Full eco for FaZe as we go into round number 3. We're getting there now. CT start for FaZe. One of their better maps for sure. Looking like flashbangs towards the upper side, but no full commitment yet from Mousesports. See Rain with the Deagle and body armor as well, so he's still got a lot of money. He didn't invest too much into the previous round. But surely Mousesports run away with this one.
Dennis gets 1 at least. Chris J gets 2. Mousesports going to find potentially the 3rd straight round as a result of the pistol, which is exactly what they need on the T side. Kiyashima, the only one remaining, is going to rotate back around to outer with his USP, try and find a long, lucky shot to no one that's, or rather someone that's not looking. No one really looking, but unfortunately the USP against armor won't do anything. So 3-0 Mousesports, as mentioned. Now the guns come out, now the challenge starts. We'll see how assertive FaZe want to be on Nuke. We know they've got a lot of individual skill, but I question if they win the op battle against Oscar, which can be actually a big battle on Nuke.
I'm actually a big fan of Alu on this map in particular, but unfortunately for him, he does not get the AWP here, right? He actually goes to the M4A4, definitely proficient with a rifle. We've talked about his tenure within Mousesports as a rifle, so that's quite an interesting fact there. Bit of a bonus round here for Mousesports. We've got the Mac 10 for Lau, and Chris J with a UMP as well. So you'd expect something fast here, maybe an execution towards upper, get the SMGs thrown into that bomb site and see if you can find the first kill. Unfortunately for them, there's no unarmored head on the CTs. They're aware the SMGs are going to be there, and they protect themselves, as you should. As we get into an outside situation, 2 towards the catwalk, 2 outside, and trying to find the supposed orb, which doesn't exist. So Rain's out there by himself, trying to do what he can.
Dennis will slide up, Caught by Alu. Crossfire established. Good shot from Lowell to go back down over the top, considering he's only got a Mac 10 to work with. But it's Alu that goes back to the window as they want to continue to push around the corner. Chris finding him with the UMP, so the SMG is actually winning out in what we call the bonus round.
It is.
Some call it other things, but the bonus round. It's Keo in a 1 versus 4. Second time he's been alive late, this time at least. Unlike the last round, he's got a little bit of weaponry to work with. Trying to bait out anyone toward heaven, but gets spotted up and tagged to 19. Lowell closes him off. His second kill on the Mac 10 is going to give good money, and NKJ is quite pleased behind them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not LMBT, isn't it?
LMBT, you're right, sorry. NKJ is a whole different person.
Yeah,
it is
fine.
late. I was thinking that when I said it, I was like, that's not his name.
I just forwarded, just make sure. I wasn't 100% sure, but there we go. 4-0, I should say, probably 5-0, considering that big round win there from Mousesports. The money is looking great for them. They've got like 8k and 4 players. Mac 10s once again farming more cash here. No armor for the CTs. Get some upgraded pistols. FaZe always deadly with these sort of rounds. You know the likes of Rain, Nico, Desert Eagles is something they're very, very good with. First one comes in, doesn't land anything just yet for Rain. Loud fall back, doesn't fancy that duel with Mac 10 by the looks of things. This is a fantastic start for Mousesports. To remind you, it's a best of 1, right? And with this T-side start on Nuke, they're looking in very good form. So much money to work with here. CT's on the chase. They will get Orbside next round, the maximum loss bonus, of course. But for now, all very quiet. Holding towards the lobby, of course. Nico's found a gap in the door, though, looking to punish anyone that walks through his crosser, but unfortunately Chris J finds him first. Headshot takes him down. Perfect so far. Get the initial pick. Don't lose any HP on the Mousesports side. Group up, presumably towards outside, yes, like they're doing right now. Smoke's down. This is looking very good. I'm loving this game plan from Mousesports. Not giving much away, but there is a gap in the smoke map. You do hate to see that. But against the Deagle, it's not a huge deal. Now he's got to reload as well. Get down there, lads. Absolutely fine. One towards ramp. Gets taken down by Carrigan. That's Rops, the star player from Mousesports.
Dennis. Back inside toward the lower bomb site. Door open. The Kerrigan's already rotated down. They're coming in from ramp as well to try and hold it off with rifles. CZ's not going to do much, Kerrigan. I'm sorry to let you know. Mousesports gets the shot. And look to get the round. It's just Kiyoshima again. I've said that a few times. Maybe Kiyoshima's the happy. He's not the problem, but he might be the happy.
See if he can be happy this round, Matt. He's going to be in the 3 versus 1, but 2 HP now. I think he's going to be sad as he gets naded as well. Gets finished off 5-0 for Mousesports, looking in incredibly good form. Lau, believe it or not, he's got $14,000. So strong. They can just get away with so much here. Huge, better rounds in terms of the advantage. A lot of money to work with as well. They're going to bring the all-power for Oscar, of course. Same story, though, for Alu. Finally, like I said, I think he's very good on this map. But Oscar, look at that spawn. Pretty much as good as it gets. He'll be going towards outside and probably even confident in terms of the duel against, the aforementioned Alu. Getting to round number 6 here. I'll have a look as to where Alu's heading. Of course, it should be the garage. He goes towards ramp at the start, smoking his teammate, then falls back towards heaven. So Oscar's got free reign of the outside area for now, at least.
Flash inside of the smoke. Chris is going to push directly through it. Tries to go rather than inside the site, back through the smoke and catch them off outside, but it's Lowell that gets Nico next. It gets them back on even footing at very least as Lowell backs off through lobby. Watch for Dennis outside. He's been quiet in all of this, but he's making steady progress. Held up ever so slightly in the fact that he's anticipating a peek from Secret. There's actually big garage that he has to worry about. Rain's the one that's there. Dennis will continue to try and slow that down.
We'll see what they can do. 1 minute remaining. Still an equal exchange. Chris J going down on the T side. Nico, one of the big scalps to take is Dennis, though, striking again, doing a very good job here. Beneath heaven, finds Rain, and now it's going to be the upper bomb side. The final commitment. Can Alu step up here with the AWP? It's going to be Kiyoshima to strike first, but what a shot from Oscar. Still 2-on-1, and it's going to be 2-on-0 now. Oscar finds the final shot, and I have to say, Mousesports looking assertive, confident here after the delay. Actually posting incredible numbers here. We'll have a look at the scoreboard. Nico, -1 for 6. I think I've ever said that about him before.
Yeah, that's actually, I didn't even notice that. -1 for 6. That's the kill on Alu. That's his only, I told you, maybe there is a contract in play. Maybe Mousesports, you know, still, hey buddy, how's it going? Yeah, I'll still pay you. Huh?
Well, we'll see what he can do. Obviously, that's quite exciting, right? You got Alu, former Mousesports player. Same story for Nico as well. You never know. But, well, you definitely do. That's
You
not
do,
happening.
yeah.
Just before anyone gets cozy. We're just having a bit of fun. It is getting late. But we'll see what happens in round number 7
That's
here.
like, that's our, I think that means we could totally say whatever we want and just use the blanket term, it's getting late. We could, so anything you need to say that's completely controversial, Henry, we can get away with it because it's getting late. So, tactical timeout number 1 for FaZe. 1 of 4, remember, given the current rule set. I think we all know that by now. It's been in place, actually, since last year, during the player break, August, I think it was announced. So this would, this would be almost a year that that's been in place.
Sure.
It's kind of crazy when you think about it.
Well, Matthew, round number 7. This kind of scoreline is crazy regardless. Oscar finds the first pick once again, takes down Rain. Now we do have an interesting situation. Can the Pistols do anything about this whatsoever? Or do Mousesports find a 7-0? I would say the latter very likely here. 2 players towards the ramp room, but Mousesports do have full control. It's going to be Rops. This time not going down to the Pistols. Finds the first headshot. Looking for a double here. Can't get it. Alu finds him. Looking for a bit more here. We could have a situation where Alu in a 4 versus 1. Gets another frag, but I think that's all he gets here. Be an absolute blunder at this point for Mousesports to give anything up. 1 minute remaining. Bomb not down, but just trying to get information. Don't have to fully commit. Just hold up. Allow Alu to give away further information if he decides to fall back. Possibly towards heaven, maybe ramp.
So another bomb plant for Mousesports on Nuke. This could... I hate to say it after what we just witnessed, but this could be a quick game, Henry. Don't hit me.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
Oh, God. You know what? Actually, I'm not sorry to you. I'm sorry to everyone in the green room. Just kidding. Suffer. Alu's going to peek down. Can't quite get the kill. Oscar's got it with the deagle, confirming yet another round. We go 7-0 for the Mouse. And there's something about cheese from Alex. He's probably sitting in the green room eating a whack of it. You know what? He might even be eating the cheese wrapped in tree bark that James Bardoff bought without going into the ritual of going into, you know, the rural areas, climbing to the top of a mountain and getting it like I had to do. Okay. He just had it delivered to him.
Well,
so, you know.
Some people like the convenience of life, you know.
Yes, some people are divas. I get it.
Well, let's get into it now. Another gun round here for FaZe, of course. All about for Alu this time, not going towards the ramp room, wants to take the active duels. I think that's probably the right call. We'll start getting some marketing picks, but this could be a full-up execution from what I can see. Shooting out the windows right now. Holding control, of course, for the terrorists, and setting up some smokes and flashbangs as well. Going to be Nico patrolling the door. Still on -1 for 7 here. Early days, we're too ahead of ourselves here. Can always pull this back. We've seen many top players, like Stewie and Rops as well, early in the tournament, recover from these sort of scorelines and then end up at the top of the scoreboard. So definitely someone that can do that as well. Back towards outside they go. Alu waiting for them. He needs to step up here. We've got Rain at the back steps as well. Surely he gets frags here. Oh, the flashback's brutal.
Dennis takes down Alu. Flashback was absolutely brutal. Nico gets tagged up from far. That's out toward Big Garage. He won't repeat that. How's his kill total doing? Is he climbing the charts? Nope, still... He's next level, James Bond. He's -1 and 7.
Yeah, the new agent. Well,
shocker for him.
Dennis, on the other hand, he's posting really good numbers here. Great job. Finds a 7 frag. And now it's a 4-on-3 once again. No kids and Chris J lands another crisp headshot with the AK-47. Carrigan goes down up to Rain and Nico now. Smokes, incendiaries, no kids, couple of flashbangs to work with in a 4-on-2. I think they probably just have to save here. This is getting out of control. There's a free kill for Nico though, surely to find his first. Gets to 0 at least. And now the clutch begins. Nico could find redemption if he can get this round in his favour for his team.
Redemption. Well, we'll see what Rain gets. Absolutely nothing. Down he goes. Nico's going to grab the AWP and head for the hills. Head for the water that's not that deep, even though it says it's deep. Flashes himself back out. Still looking for a kill, Nico. That's a remarkable thought. And he will fall yet again.
He will indeed. So maximum loss bonus, of course, but there's 3 players on the Mousesports team with $16,000. That's the first kill of the game from Nico. Go to round number 9. I think this has to be another eco. They're looking to maybe invest partially into this one. I see the scouts, a UMP, and a couple of pistols as well. P250s, deagles, and body armor. This is the clean sweep so far, and this is traditionally a CT-sided map as well. We'll see whether FaZe can get anything going in these pistols. This is the sort of point they get back into the game, though. Like, just it looks like a complete whitewash. The pistols step up and go absolutely crazy.
Flash over. Rain, unable to spot anything, is actually going to have company in the fact that Dennis, in all of the commotion, has made his way toward the big garage. And not only has he made his way... Oh, come on, he's looked the wrong way, though. Not only has he made his way toward the big garage, he's in behind Rain, which he does recognize after Rain engages elsewhere toward the catwalk, but it's a kill nonetheless for Mousesports. Damage done this round to Lowell and Rops, but still it's the man advantage, and FaZe is struggling with just the pistols.
We'll see what he can do here. Rain going down. Lots of damage inflicted at least. That's something to work with for FaZe, but not much. I guess it's something. 1 minute now. Nico with the UMP. We'll see where he can step up. Lau, though, continuing the carnage.
Oh, he's going to continue to watch the top of the ladder as well as Alu. Gets back around. It's Dennis that gets Alu. Down he goes, so it's all on Nico. This time he's sure to get a kill. He has to get a kill. Oscar finds Nico, but it's not going to happen yet. I'm waiting for it, Henry. I'm waiting for that moment when he finally arrives in this game. But
is that going to be the hype moment for you?
There is no hype moments. I mean, so far, incredible stuff from Mousesports. You got to give them full credit there. FaZe have just looked like they're fast asleep in this, and maybe there is something in that. Nico has got 1 kill, by the way, because he's back to 0. Exactly. So I take that back. He did get 1, but still not on the scoreboard.
Well, here we go then. It's still not the end of the game, believe it or not. Yes, 9-0 looks abysmal, but we still have a chance for him to get 9-6. That's recoverable. So stick with us. I'm sure this will warm up. This FaZe, after all. Even though they get a few rounds, they can always come back. Here we go. Alu with the first headshot. Takes down Oscar, and it's going to be Nico finally arriving here on Nuke. Shots all over the place. The CTs coming out swinging in round number 10. They're not done just yet. It's going to be a 5-on-2 in their favour. We'll have Dennis and Chris J. Surely they can't pull this one back. 5-on-2s can happen, but not in this sort of scenario. Got nothing really to work with. Both players in the lobby have got the bomb, but Chris J down to 38 HP. Dennis 73. Finally, FaZe posting around in a decent one of that. If all 5 players stay alive, they'll be fine, but if any damage inflicted, so much money available from Mousesports, you need to make sure they keep at least 2 or 3 players up here. Carrigan should be dealing with that situation. He takes down Dennis, and now Chris J. Like I said, objective, just find as many kills as possible in terms of damaging the economy of FaZe going forward.
Chris J is going to go all the way back around with bomb. This finally for FaZe is around to work with. Alu with the AWP with the 2 kills, finally getting outside, controlled as well. It's just Chris, as you mentioned, trying to do economic damage with 42 seconds. Good positioning as well toward the stairs at Secret for Alu, so Chris shouldn't get much access. He could hug the tight side and go toward Annex, as Chad would say. Oh, there it is. Alu spots him. So head pops up like a little gopher, and he's got the kill. If he was able to slip into the main entrance, he might have been able to get 1 or 2 more, but no further damage done, and a little bit of hype behind FaZe, trying to wake them up. Nico looks very unimpressed with how this is going, more so, I imagine, with himself as much as the team.
Yeah, hype round though from Alu. That combat orb towards the squeaky door, hits the first headshot, then a couple more as well. Nico gets the 4th, and we're going into round number 11, 9-1. We need to start posting rounds in a row though. Lose this, it's an absolute nightmare. Full reset for sure for FaZe. Yes, they kept numbers up with the reinvestment, still damaging them. Faster play towards outside this time from the Mousesports side. Won't be committing with the bomb, but it's boosting Oscar up, trying to find the first pick with the AWP. Going to be hunting with the flashbangs as well. In terms of his opposition, we do have Rain and Alu waiting. Alu actually towards the lower steps. Carrigan goes down first. Big kill for him to pick up, of course, and Oscar chimes in as well. This is looking very good for Mousesports. Extremely bad for FaZe. The reset potential is real. Now 5-on-2. What is happening to FaZe right now? This is absolutely one of their best maps, and it is not arriving. Maybe it's too late in the day for them. They had said they've been here for 12 hours today. Haven't really played for 10 hours, so I'm not sure that's a factor for them.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to make excuses at this level, but yeah, I mean, maybe there's something there. Mousesports just completely eviscerates them yet again. That's going to reset them, put them back down to pistols. They'll buy what they can, obviously, at this point in time. So Rain's going to bring out an M4. They're actually...
It's okay.
They've got 3 rifles. Yeah. I mean, look, Nuke can work with 3 rifles. Nothing to say that it can't, and the only suggestion that I would make that it wouldn't is just the form that they're in right now.
Sure. Yeah, it's not kind of interesting me at the moment. The fact they have no orbs or incendiaries to stop rushes as well. I'm going a really fast round of our Mousesports at this point. You know they haven't got much money to work with here. Holding up for now though, Kiyoshima with the 5-7 gets in towards the hut. Close range, of course, that's what a weapon does its best work. Not going to find anything just yet, but look how fast Dennis is towards outside. So much map control for him. First kill guaranteed for Chris J. Nice work there. It's going to be 5-4 now. Obviously, so much time to work with if Mousesports don't have to give too much away. We have got Rain though. To sabotage the team. Someone outside does a very good job of that. 2 kills for him. That's a 4-on-3, surely around as Carrigan gets the next kill with the CZ.
CZ 75, Commonwealth. We call it the Zed, bro.
Indeed.
It's a zebra, not a zebra. What's a zebra? I don't know. What's a canoe with you? That's not even related, an animal and boat. But what's a kayak? Oscar's going to go down the vent.
Use the line. It's getting late.
Yeah, there it is. It's getting late. We've all had a few drinks. Maybe not that line. That line's...
No, that's not applicable.
Well, it's not actually. You're right. It's Oscar down, Kerrigan to find it, op dropped, and another round for FaZe. They'll bring themselves to a total of 2. We used to say, hey, if you get 3 rounds in the first half of Nuke, you've got a chance. Unfortunately, that's when you're on the T side.
Indeed. But it's FaZe, Matt. One of the most skilled lineups in the world, right?
You upping it right now?
Yeah, I'm saying this isn't over. We've still got a game on hands. They can get 10-5, and that's enough, you know? Win the pistol in the second half, it's not over until it's at 16 at the top. Keep believing that we have a game on our hands. Mousesports, great job so far, but the job isn't done. Round number 13. Orbs available now. That's a big win for FaZe. 3 rifles, a couple of pistols as well. Rainey starting to step up. One of the absolute best players we have in CSGO. Finding some form, that's good signs. Orb for Alu gets in towards the hut this time. Trying to open things up. And he gets taken down by Oscar. That's a bit of a shame. It looked interesting, exciting perhaps, but it's going to be Dennis to find the second frag as well. They're looking incredibly sharp, Mousesports, just dictating the pace of every single round. But Kiyoshima says no. A couple of kills now for FaZe. Goes into 3-on-3. Kyo. Top of the silos drops off. Can't cover off the vent from that position, already down below anyway. No rotation yet from the ramp. They'll go down the vents most likely because they are above in the A site. It's the quickest point of access, but we know it's the tightest choke point. If you go together, you might be able to trade back. Make a lot of noise in getting there now. In fact, Kerrigan backing off on Rafters will go to ramp instead. And Keo, he's on his own to go into that choke point. AK-47 in hand. Kerrigan's going to go secret instead, so he's actually taking even longer. They've got to be quick. They don't really have time to play with. 2 kits in this. Of the 3 players alive as they start to walk in from ramp. Rain, he knows he's got access, but Chris J and Rops have won the duels elsewhere. 1 versus 3, and he drops down into Oscar's crosshair. So all 3 of the remaining players from Mousesports finding kills respectively, and it goes 11-2. Absolutely. Alu trying to change things up there. AWP in towards the hub. Oscar 1 step ahead, just as close to that hub position as well. Finds the first shot. Dennis, assertive towards outside, of course. Once Alu goes down, he sees that name in the top right. He knows he's clean outside. Goes towards main entrance. Finds yet another. A couple of kills coming back in favor for Rain and Kiyoshima, but wasn't quite enough. The lower plant through the smoke works out for Mousesports. 11-2 has to be the force by here. We need at least 4 rounds of FaZe. Shotguns, deagles, UMPs, a couple of M4s, no nades. Rain goes towards secret at the very start of the round. What can you do with the Desert Eagle? Fantastic with that weapon, but in this form we're not so sure. Once again, outside control gifted to Mousesports. Dennis and Lau trying to find the first pick once again. You have to say, Dennis has looked very good so far. In fact, most of Mousesports have. Everyone's about 10 frags. Here we go. Shotgun. All right.
Decent pickup, Rops to Kerrigan. Let's go, Keo. Show me that shotgun magic.
It's coming.
He's trying it. Out toward lobby. He's got it as well. Down goes Rops. He can get closer, grab the AK, and he controls the room, which has 3 access points to bomb sites required by the terrorists to win the round. He'll back off it, though. He doesn't want to be left out there alone and get traded out for free. They've already got a 2-man advantage, so back to the site he goes instead.
4-on-2 now. Still within a shout of this round as Mousesports. Both players in the lobby. It's kind of deja vu going on right now. It's the shotgun that opens up for Kiyoshima, the Nova of all weapons, finding the most kills. Oscar AWP, of course, has to pull out the Tech 9 at this sort of range. And the lower HP and lower. There's the first frag. An opening perhaps for Mousesports.
And Oscar worked back into the site. They found 1 kill, but that's not going to be enough. We do get our 3rd round for FaZe, but it's CT side. It looks like, to be fair, they're actually warming up. They seem more coordinated as a team. Problem is, you've created quite a deficit that's going to be very hard to overcome.
It's round by round, though. There's no reason why they can't give the exact same treatment to Mousesports in the second half. You win that pistol, a team like FaZe, then they know they're good enough to pull this back, and they've got the experience not to give up, right? So I still think this goes the distance. But still, Alu, AWP this time. Still so much money for Mousesports. That just hasn't been an issue for them whatsoever in this game. Had full buys throughout every single round pretty much. Fast outside once again. They've spotted a weakness in that area. All the smoke's very quickly deployed. Going to be 4 players in total. Rob's waiting towards the lobby, perhaps goes towards ramp or tries to drop down the vents. We'll see what he decides to do. Then it's leading the charge towards Secret. Rain trying to do what he can, inflicting damage a little bit towards Lau. That's all he does, really. And he'll have to probably fall back at this point. He's given the call to his teammates. There's a chance it could be down in the lower bomb site. Ali's with him as well. They have no real information to work with, apart from there's a chance it could be lower.
Nico's going to wait toward the stairwell. Good shot to Dennis. Oscar's above and to the right. Still coming in from Secret. Contamination stairs is the angle covered off. That opens up the site itself, though, and the control room. So Chris J finds Kerrigan, follows up by getting a headshot on Nico with just a sliver to fire at. A fast reaction. He shot from ramp all the way down to the door. Wow, they win a 1 versus... Well, I take that back. 2 versus 3, excuse me. Oscar and Rops being the 2. At the AWP toward the ramp, and Rops is now the last alive. Now it's the 1 versus 3.
He is very, very good. 17 years of age. Let's see if he can step up here against some of the world's best. 3-on-1, 30 seconds remaining. Fortunately for him, Kirishima finds him 11-4. Still winnable. This is looking at least positive the last couple of rounds. Seeing that the players starting to get warmed up. Kirishima finding some form as well. Nico making his way slowly up the scoreboard. Mousesports don't even look over the moon with that half map, but still, what a performance it was. Running away with that, controlling the money, dictating the pace throughout. Wow. Outside team to be a serious problem for them.
I think as well they would know the fact that it is FaZe and they can absolutely wake up at any time. So they should look over the moon. They had an excellent start, but perhaps they're sensing what we're sensing, that we might still have a game on our hands. We'll be back in just a second. Well, we'll jump back into it without further ado. 11-4 FaZe struggling to get started early. They pull it back ever so slightly toward the end. We'll see if that momentum continues. As you can see, it was 4 rounds for them out of the last 6. So they had a positive victory somewhere in there.
We'll see if Mousesports can hold them off. Win the pistol pretty much guarantees the game. FaZe get it. Something disastrous could be coming in the Mousesports camp. We'll see what happens here. Smoke's available for Kerrigan. He's on the roof right now, looking to deploy it towards heaven, from what I can see. Maybe towards connector. Didn't quite catch it. But it's going to be a flashbang in, and towards ramp perhaps as well. It's going to be Rops to hold them off. Very skilled player. Can he start landing headshots here? He does do a little bit of damage and sends them towards upper.
He's going to wrap around, but watch Dennis toward main entrance, taken down already by Kiyoshima.
Ooh.
And he's turned around to find Chris J on the rafters. It's Lowell that's fighting back valiantly, but I'm sorry. What's the Spanish? Ooh, we're ops in to get Nico. Kyo gets him back. What's the Spanish? What's the fighter, the knight, the guy, you know, Matador? Is that Spanish? El Matador?
Yeah, that kind of works.
That works. Okay. Sorry,
sort
Lowell.
of.
El Nino. That's Fernando Alonso, the Lion.
Yeah, we got the point. It was good.
All right, cool.
I liked it.
Thanks. It's getting late here.
It's getting late. No, that's a big round from FaZe, right? That's huge. They needed that, and I said to you in kind of halftime, I said, Matt, this isn't done. FaZe are going to come back from this. Like, mark my words. They might not win, but they're going to make it a good game. Winning the pistol certainly sets a tone. And interesting enough, Mousesports with this lead, forced by in the second round. I'm not so sure that's the best call, but considering the form they've showed and the lack of the FaZe have been bringing to the table as well, I guess it kind of makes sense in that respect. Try and shut them down early, kill the morale. As we get into round number 2 here, forced by, of course, from the CT. Scout for Chris J. We've said it a couple of times today. At one point, probably one of the world's best scout players. And a map like Nuke as well. Lots of room to work with, lots of lines to fall back to. It's in CD spawn right now, but Nico, he doesn't care. Finds Dennis first. Damage being inflicted there by Chris J.
Nico's waiting to jump up above lockers and go toward heaven, but look at Chris's position.
Yeah.
He can't go. He knows it, too. This is such a strong position. We haven't seen this in a while, actually. It's very common early on when people are trying the more wrap approach with the new catwalk, with the ability to boost yourself up toward heaven. A lot of players were trying to go that direction, and
He spots him.
yeah, absolutely. But and therefore the CTs are playing very passive. Less teams are doing that now. They're actually just trying to take secrets straight up. It's kind of gone back to the older style of how the map was played, not necessarily taking advantage of all those new angles. So less CTs, therefore, are toward CT spawn.
For now, though,
I feel like I explained that slightly quicker than DDK would have done.
I know what you mean. But Oscar, he does not care. 2 frags for him with the Mac 10. Taking down Carrigan, it looks like the round is secure. Got a bit dicey there. But one player surviving is going to be Rops, though. Head armor 5-7, and we'll see whether he can step up here whatsoever. He's actually in towards the lobby, I believe, as well. Here he comes. Could find a couple of kills. Look at Alu and Nico's HP. This isn't done just yet. Okay, maybe it is. Nico, still a headshot. Shut up, Henry. It's absolutely over. Try to build up some tension. But it's fine.
Well, FaZe have the momentum again.
They do indeed. This has to be a full eco now, of course, from Mousesports. And this is when you give FaZe an opportunity, man. Do you know the reason I described that you don't really want to force buy in the second round? You're against FaZe. You have this huge lead. It's unlikely you win a force buy in the second round on a map like Nuke. It's not that much to work with. I'm opting to get Orbs out. I want to get all my utility. FaZe now can start bullying their money and keep rushing, keep the pace going, and probably give the exact same treatment they received in the first half. Definitely have a game on our hands now. This is going to be pretty much guaranteed round for FaZe. Just PT50s, no armor, no nades for the CT side. They go towards ramp, quite a safe position considering Rops is just there with the silent USP. Plays it correctly, goes down towards lower, but he knows he's pretty much out of options. Tucks himself in a corner, hopes for the best in that area, but it's Alu. Mac 10 in hand, beneath heaven. Could find the first kill here. Almost certainly. There it is.
Not bad from Alu to take out Dennis. Gets inside of the vents to see if he can prod apart below, but can't do anything with it. Oscar lost a lot. Good positioning for Oscar. All the ingredients were there in terms of positioning. Unfortunately, the weapons were not, and therefore they've all perished. It's now going to be 11-7. Rain and FaZe. What do they go with? Rain's on 4250, so no AWP for him, and they won't for Alu either, so there you go.
You just see how this buy coming in now for the CTs. No kids, man. No orbs. No incendiaries.
You were saying at halftime you think FaZe are going to win this.
Yeah, I absolutely. Well, I absolutely think they are. I think there's definitely a chance this sort of team win the pistol. I think we definitely have a strong chance of that happening. Mousesports now with that force buy as well. I'm a little bit worried for them.
Smoke outside of hut, flash through it. Rain's going to wrap toward catwalk. Down. Good spray from Chris, though, as he walks back in for the corner. They had a player baiting at red box. I wouldn't say baiting. I would say getting abandoned, and then they managed to save it with Chris's angle. Getting back reactionary to take the fight instead of giving them the map control as Nico tries to go back around toward the silo position once more. It's Alu that's going to slip into secret. Shh, don't tell anyone, though. It's a secret.
It is a secret. You're absolutely right. Got to stay quiet. But we do have to talk a little bit. Now, challenging towards the secret steps. He has made his way down there. Obviously, looking at the first 2 picks, have to be a bit more assertive now. Trying to open things up. Alu doing just that. Finds Oscar. Now we do have a chance then to come back into this round. It's Chris J to open things up. But can he do any more? He's down to 6 HP.
Dennis to find Alu. Sorry, I thought we were just being quiet, still keeping the secrets, so. Nico in, gap between the silos, spots a CT, but can't find the angle. That'll bait back into Keo, though, and he gets the information, makes no mistake with it as Nico starts off to get Dennis. We're on to something now. As Keo will hold off the lobby. Here's Rops running directly toward him. Chris J, 6 HP. My friend, that M4 is all you've got to your name. You don't even have that anymore. Nico's found him. He's gone up the ladder from his own position on the hut. They're going to pick up yet another round. They go 8 total, 4 in a row in this half, 4-0 on this half.
Timeout for Mousesports. Probably need it. Take a quick breath. They've realized now that they've got themselves in a spot of bother, I would say. Has to be another eco here as they go into round number 5. Looking for maximum loss bonus into the next, but for now, probably just a little partial buy. Just take a moment now, allow the coach to chime in, work out what the problems are, and I think it's just down to that force buy. Not having the full buy there in the first gun run was a serious problem for them. You can see them getting outdueled, and even after finding the first 2 kills, FaZe just operating very efficiently around the map. Nico, Kiyoshima landing some stellar headshots across the board. Kiyoshima especially seems like he's in the zone for his team, at least someone is. He's got 18 kills, 14 deaths. Ali not far behind, and now Nico, slowly but surely, Matt, creeping up the scoreboard. Got a 10 frags now, 3rd place.
11 frags. He started at -1.
That's right. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. So
how does that accumulate for stats? I think different stats bots, we'll call them that, programs track that differently.
That way, stats on the scoreboard, that cannot be right. Because FaZe are on 320. They're definitely the favourites going into this one.
Well, you know what?
But
Betway says otherwise.
They're loving it, but yeah, that's fine.
And as Alex said something about if you were going to go anyway, you go the Betway. So, there you go. Freiburg knows a thing or two about that website. Alu takes down Dennis. Smart man, that Freiburg.
Well, easy kill for FaZe, open things up, like I said. Bit of a partial buy here from the CTs. Dennis goes down first. Alu with the first orb shot, of course. And once they get to double digits, Matt, that's when you start to get really scared for Mousesports. Haven't posted a single round here in the second half. It'll be 5-0. And the mind games really begin. What's the play here for Mouse? Still within a tiny chance of winning this round. PT50s, 5-7s, and body armor as well. Chris J with that scout. We'll see if he can deliver any sort of performance here as we enter the 1-minute mark. Terrorist is biding their time, not giving too much away. Of course, will be Rops towards the ramp from once again. Pushed up a little bit aggressively with the PT50. Won't get much for his money though. It looks like the upper commitment comes in. Up to Lau now, 5-7. Good weapon at close range. Could find the first kill. Does indeed. Can he get more than that? Actually does. And delivering a load of frags here.
Thought he was going to get another as he got the dink in. That was good enough though for Oscar and Ropes to follow up. Ropes?
Ropes.
Maybe they're hanging by his ropes.
Well, if he keeps delivering shots like that, why not? Very good stuff there. I said there was a small chance they could win that round. And FaZe made a mistake there. I think they had utility. Actually, maybe not. They might have used that at the start. They get the first pick. Very unlikely the Mouse will do anything of that, but that's a lifeline. Double orb setup normally comes in when you're a little bit desperate, right? CT side on Nuke, not so much. You don't really want to see that, but I guess Oscar, Chris J trying to find opening frags, and Oscar, he looks aggressive towards the ramp from trying to find the opening pick here. Terrorists are aware this could be a possibility. Does he go any further and look towards the lobby entrance? I think he does. That's what he has to do here. First shot coming in. It's 1-on-1 just yet. Might go even further.
I think I figured out the real crime on this map. It's not the fact that someone's trying to blow up a nuclear reactor. It's that someone actually was robbing that vending machine.
That's right. I've always thought that as
There's a lot of wrappers left. Clearly, they didn't put $4 in that. No one pays $4. They just take it. Nico's gonna get Dennis. It's better off though that Nico drops down because he finds Rops before he can even get inside of the door to find anyone else. So another bomb plant coming in. FaZe are gonna find round number 9. They've only given up 1. That means we've got to reset for Mousesports. Oscar on the AWP. They did win an eco, you're right, so they've got some residual, but not a lot. Yeah. You've got 0, 50, 100, 42.50 at least for Rops.
If Oscar saves his orb, he can drop a couple of UMPs. They combine them for with Rops. He's got the
there's the update. That's updated. Yours didn't update.
What's that?
Never mind. Just keep going. It's getting late.
It's getting late. No, it still stands because Oscar saves the AWP. He can still drop 2 UMPs. Rops can buy an M4, so he can still get a buy up. It won't be fantastic, but there'll be something there. So the money being balanced now, distributing the goods out. Orb dropped, and I'm sure that'll be given to Oscar, of course. And they don't go for the UMPs. He could have dropped 1 more UMP, but Oscar keeping his money a little bit stronger. Of course, it's Diorpa. $1,200 for the UMP, still got 1,500. So opting to just keep him in good stead. Round number 22, big one, of course. Mousesports will have nothing left if they lose this round, getting fully reset in the previous. They can pull this one back, though. Might not be the end just yet. Oscar looking towards the lobby. Smokes in. Buys himself some time, could reposition his point as well. Going towards the hut. Actually looking for the challenge. He knows he has to step up here, right? 2 players on pistols. Needs to find the opening pick. Kiyoshima on the other side as well. Comes down to timings here. Oscar can't find it just yet, but spotted. Probably has to fall back at this point. Doesn't take too much damage, but gives away he's got the AWP in that position at least.
He goes in toward the door. Oh, jump across Oscar. Doesn't quite catch Keo. Drops to play the headshot angle from the ramp. I love that railing because you drop away and you're gone, and just like that.
Yep, that's how you play ramp. That's textbook stuff, Matt, I would say. But Nico, he doesn't care about your textbook. He's thrown out the window, and he's going to be taken down low.
Textbooks are expensive these days.
I know.
Just download.
He doesn't care.
Well, that said, it's a rotation down. It is the right way to play it, as you said, because it stays efficient. You can pull a turnpike rotation back in from heaven as well, if, of course, you have someone in that available position. However, it's Chris J that finds the next kill, so things are looking better for Mousesports. For once, they've got a man advantage. They got a bomb down, though, for FaZe, and therefore, with a smoke toward Annex, they've actually got a situation that is controllable and containable. Look at the amount of bodies heading toward heaven. Flash goes in, Nico looks away, they time it before the flash detonates, and therefore, his back turned, he's got no chance, but Keo and Kerrigan do. They've got headshot angles to heaven, and there's 2 players trying to get back in from the rafters. They drop down, Kerrigan spots it, that made him wide. Good shot from Oscar. It's just Keo remaining, and he'll try and tap it so that they have to face. There's 3 seconds on the defuse to make it even none at all, because Chris takes down Keo, and they will complete it. They'll find number 13.
Not the most comfortable of rounds, but Oscar with some heroics there, jumping down with the AWP onto the bomb site. Has to hit the shot. High pressure situation. He delivers. Smoke down from his teammate as well. Kiyoshima can't do anything about it. Bomb defused, and we find ourselves at round 13 for Mousesports here. FaZe take a tactical timeout. They still have money, of course, but still just a chance to breathe, work out what happened there. Very fast-paced Counter-Strike coming in from the FaZe side. And it's going to be Ali with the AWP this time. Oh, getting there. Mousesports in touching distance now. And winning here, going 2-0.
I didn't say download them illegally.
No, you can pay by the PDF.
You can pay them, yeah, but exactly, they're cheaper.
Yeah.
You're saving the environment.
Yeah. You're all about that.
Yeah, the one thing I will say with PDF is they need to find a better way to pass them on to people, because the used book market was actually somewhat decent.
Sure.
Now they can kind of limit the PDF, so you can't do that, but you could still actually just screenshot them if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
That would be piracy, though, and I would promote that.
He would not. Definitely not. Do not download the Nico textbook.
Wow.
He's trying to sell it right now.
That's a tough one. That's like level 4. You gotta start with like the 101.
Yeah.
Download the Bardoff book first. Actually, sorry, that's kindergarten. Download the, I don't know, the Henry G can be 101. I
can start the series off, and then we'll move up to Nico in about 6 books' time. Either way, let's get into this round. Insanity starting to set in. It's going to be 13-9. Galil's and AWP, a couple of AKs as well. Outside control coming in from FaZe. First shot for Chris J, though, and CT spawn once again, Matt. Finding Rainers on the catwalk, and they're going to have the 5-on-4. Good information gathered. Does that funnel FaZe down towards Secret? Chris J certainly seems to think so. Knife out. It's up to Nico now, boosted up. Found by Rob, just about gets the kill, but Alu in return. Doesn't equal the situation, but brings it a little bit closer. 4-on-3 now.
Decent shot, Oscar, to take out Alu. We've got Kerrigan and Kiyoshima remaining on the FaZe side. Good shot from Kiyoshima as well to catch off Oscar through the window. His body lay still warm on the ground with a slight twitch in his right arm as he perishes and bleeds out. Kerrigan will walk in and get his feet a little bit dirty with his blood to leave tracks toward the A site. That's where they want to go to try and get the bomb down. It's low above to get the first shot, but that's traded back, leaving Kerrigan in a 1 versus 2. Bomb in his hand, dropping in. Dennis surely would have thought got the shot on him, but from the air he still lands above him and gets the shot directly down. So it makes it a 1 versus 1. And Chris J's on an AWP to try and go for the retake. That's going to be a bit of an interesting composition.
Oh, he's done
and he's gone right immediately for the peak. Kerrigan catches Chris off with a smart tactic of baiting out to the right.
The old master Carrigan steps up there just when FaZe needed as well. 3 versus 1. Finds the first kill shot. Goes down the vent as well. His upgraded M4A4. Lands on the head of the... Oh my god, look at the morale in the Mousesports caps. Lands on the head of the waiting CT, and the 1v1 begins. Chris J had a nightmare there. We said he was in CT spawn, rotating through ramp, goes to the peak, the flashbang lands in his face, and it's a disaster. The round gets given up, and FaZe find double digits, resetting the money of Mousesports. They know it as well. Tactical pause coming in, and I said this game could still go to distance. Even though it was 11-4 first half, on the CT side, FaZe will never give in. Now they have the advantage. Still rounds in the bag for Mousesports, but they have about 2K per player here. It's a chance to calm down. It's actually a FaZe timeout from what I can see on the screen.
They are a group of European bandits, right?
Absolutely.
We will not give in. Fighting for their rights.
Yeah.
They've come together for something they believe in.
Here's the replay. So Chris J did see him cop the flash in the face.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It couldn't be more perfect. The moment he goes to FaZe, boom, he can't fall back. He's getting tagged up. And when you're getting shot by the bullets, right, they slow you down. He's kind of getting stuck in quicksand almost, and he gets tagged up and stopped in the ramp.
That has to be in like my top. I'll go top 15, maybe not top 10. Top 15 fears.
Quicksand.
Yeah,
that's... So snakes first, and
snakes
then
first.
Quicksand is in the top 15.
Oh, snakes. Won't go down, no gap in them. They'll jump across. Rain was spotted in doing so, so element of surprise not necessarily there, but they have the map position. That's all they wanted out of it. That's what they want to attain against the pistols. Crossfire set, we talk about this. Very strong one. Decontamination and control, but with no armor. The nade does absolute
and
massive
default
USPs
damage as well.
Yeah.
Not great.
Run and gun, Rain. Shake and bake. If you're not first, you're last, and he is first. He's got Chris J down.
Well, Rain. He's farming a lot of cash. He's very confident in it. This round will be going in favor of FaZe. I'm going to have a look at the money situation for Mousesports next round. Let's have a look. Second save loss bonus after losing this one, right? So $1,900 per player. So we can bring it up. As you can see, just over 2K per player, I'd say on average, and they'll get an extra $300. Maybe a bit more now as Lau's starting to find kills in events. 600 in total. If he saves the AK, that's a very good day in the office for him. Albeit his teammates dropping around him. If he saves the AK, they have a much better chance of winning the next round. He can actually drop a weapon now. And looking to survive, surely. Bomb will be down and upper, of course, so just looking to stay in this lower area. Should be absolutely fine there. So good job by Lau. Gets $600 and an AK he can drop. Or take the M4. See what he decides to do. Chris J. Down and out. The first player got naded, like you said. There's his corpse on the floor. FaZe do post another round. Getting to the closing sector. Now this is the nade we discussed. Look how much damage it is right in the face. Oof. That's going to hurt in the morning. It is the morning, isn't it?
It's 11:43.
Oh, almost there.
It's actually not bad, you know. We've had longer days. It's just the fact. Well, we definitely probably have had longer as well.
Yes.
I was gonna say we've had later days for sure, but yeah, we've probably had longer to go along with later. We've probably had worse.
Lau gets the AK-47 from the previous round. Just about getting a bite together. You can see how important that was, saving that terrorist rifle. Ooh, for Alu though. Trying to find the first shots. It's not clear who's going to run away with this round. Outside control coming in, I think, for almost all the terrorists. I think we have Kirishima holding the lobby.
2 rounds on the CT side for Mousesports. You know, Hank, I'm just going to say it. I think this has overtime written all over it.
Oh, let's do it all over again. That was so much fun. The players loved it. FaZe loved it, watching it.
Jason loved it.
He did. He loves everything, though. He's such a happy-go-lucky guy.
Yeah, he really is, you know? He's such a positive influence all the time. I could never picture him sabotaging anyone.
No comment.
Kerrigan goes toward the AC unit. Just check towards CT. We saw Chris J playing that angle early on, so at least they consider it, but as we mentioned, it's not as common. Flash will go in early. Kerrigan will follow it up. And it catches off the player above hut because Chris J was cowering away from the flash. That left Lowell a sitting duck, but Mouse has stepped up since. Chris J, in fact, being one of the players to do so. 2 kills for him as he finds Rain as well. It's Nico. But he's the only left alive. 12 HP. 4 for Chris J nonetheless, but Dennis and Oscar much the more. 100 for each.
Yeah, looking very good. We'll see whether Mousesports can finish this one off with 5 seconds remaining. You'd say yes, almost guaranteed now. Definitely at this point, Nico 12 HP, staying alive with his AK-47. So Mousesports post yet another round. Only 2, now 3 in total in the second half. Scoreline currently 7-3. Round number 26. Money looking pretty bleak actually for FaZe. Saved AK. Nika can drop one more. Got 6k on another player as well. Distributing the wealth now. Nika's still with 2700, working out he does need to drop or goes for the utility. He's still got 2700. He could have dropped another AK-47, but goes for the nades instead. So they've got 3 Tech 9s, 2 AKs. I guess they do need the smoke to work if they're going to be doing a set-piece strategy at this point. This is big though. Mousesports find match point here. They've broken the money of FaZe. They probably win the game. This round could decide whether Mousesports do it right here, right now.
Make or break. Smoke goes in. It goes past Annex. Maybe they're just trying to isolate that back vent. 100% certain, but if so, it's not a bad call because oftentimes that position is played. Splashes everywhere. Oscar getting 2 though. Lowell shoots down to find Nico, and he stays alive to get Alu as well. We do get the map point, Hank.
We do, and they know what it means as well.
And look at NKJ.
It's got the bait. Nice. I didn't fall for it this time. It's LMBT.
Yes. Lambert.
Yes. Well, there you go, Matt. I did say it. I built it up quite nicely, I think. FaZe, they lost that round with the Tech 9s, a couple of AKs, force buying into the round. Essentially, they'd have nothing to work with it. This is their last pause. Got to do the fist pumps now, boys. What have you got left for us? 4 rounds in a row required. This one will be the most hard of all. Tech 9s, Galils, maybe 1 AK for Alu. That's probably about as good as he's going to get. Wants to play. They went for the set piece last round. Smokes all over the place. 3 flashbangs out the upper bomb side, but Oscar is ready. AK-47 in hand, sprays 2 down. But the good news is I get for FaZe, the slight good news I think I can deliver to them. Double orb setup for Mousesports. If they go for something like the upper execution, lock out those orbs, find the first kill, the snowball effect with the Tech 9s, maybe they have a chance. It's going to be quite a difficult situation now. 4 in a row for overtime, but if there was a team to do it, this would be it.
Off the fence, bounce the smoke close instead. The other 2 go deep. They'll have the wall set.
He's down low already.
He's doing a little already. He's inside a control room, in fact, not just inside of Secret. He's gone all the way past the stairwell. He'll hold the angle. Watch for Oscar to try and find an opening, but Nate's going to him. He can't get one, but does get Rain. Goes for the bomb planter, but can't nail it. So we've got a plant for FaZe, and not only that, we've got 2 kills. We've got a round. As Kerrigan and Alu find very important and substantial picks. Chris J, he's gone to the pistol. Kerrigan finds him on a Tech 9. It's down to Dennis, and suddenly FaZe have life left yet because you said this could be it. I agreed. I thought, yeah, you're right. You're onto something, but they only get 1 kill on entry to the lower site.
It was just a nice call there from Kerrigan, dropping in that fast event drop from Kiyoshima. The fact he gets down towards the window room so quickly as well, his teammates going towards outside, they're managing to get smokes in towards the vent. The CTs are so discombobulated, they're not really sure what call's coming in. Is Kiyoshima backstabbing them at the ramp? They have no idea. They don't want to be pushing that area. Smokes go down, pistols push through, find the AWP, find the SMG, and it's 1 player surviving now for Mousesports.
Yeah, that's going to be tight for them as well. The 1 gun only, and you're talking about 1 round bonus.
Let's have a look. They can still buy into this pretty comfortably with the AK save. They've got 5k on 2 players. UMP's coming out, a couple of M4s as well, so it's still decent. Now I guess the situation is if FaZe win this round, they've got a chance to have a really realistic chance of making it to overtime.
Let's do it. We came close to beating the overtime record. I think we shatter it right now. Let's do
we could actually beat it. No one's touching our record, Matt.
Yeah, I know. It's a record I'm don't ever want to repeat, but don't ever want to lose either.
No one's ever going near that.
Yeah. I know that flashy message tweeted me and was like, oh god, our record's in jeopardy, and then he was like, never mind, saved. Speaking of saves, Dennis will go out to find Nico pushing through the smoke. Good timing, you can hear him coming. He flashed over as well, so it was telegraphed. But it's Rops that'll get inside of the corner and pull Chris J to bait them in. He's a little bit late, Chris, but it could work for his favor because he'll be aligned. Goes down. Try and support Rops instead, but it's 2 kills to give them the lower site. Keo, 11 HP. Allo on the 8WP is now the last alive, and he can't get anything with it. Oscar closes it. It took Mousesports a while, considering the start they had. 11-4 at half as well. But they close it out, and they beat their former teammates' team, who, look at Kerrigan, is among the top of the world right now. That certainly didn't show in the opening rounds. And that's going to cost them. No, that looks actually quite upset, Kerrigan.
What a week in the office been for Mousesports, though. Qualify for the major, go 2-0 up here in Cologne as well. They're looking like quite the interesting team, I have to say.
We talked about this at the minor when we had some of the questions coming in from the community, and someone kind of talked about, international mixes and seeing some of the new teams, especially Penta, picking up teams that are, or players that are from Finland and don't really have a national scene. Penta, Mousesports, seems like that they can afford to take risks on new players, and I think picking up Rops has been huge for them.
Yeah, they seem revitalized, they seem dangerous, and could go quite far in a tournament, who knows. I'm impressed so far. Commiserations to FaZe, but that's going to be it. We'll throw it over to a break.
The Pay Safeguard post-match breakdown.
And there you have it, folks. Another game down, one more in the books, and we have a result you weren't necessarily anticipating. Mousesports on Nuke, your word. In fact, Yanko, I'm joined, of course, by Sponge as well, was Nuke, Mouse, what?
Got any more knock-knock jokes?
Knock.
Who's there?
Apparently
I've got
Nuke
one.
is T-sided. Apparently Nuke is T-sided who? That match. That was really bad. Not as bad as your one in Dallas. But yeah, that's what that game was. It was teams who, you know, looked very prepared on their T-halves. And Matt's laughing at me. He's like, this idiot. How does he have a job? I don't know.
Well, we started this by saying that it's evident if Nuke is going to be drawn by Mousesports versus a team like FaZe, the discussion is obviously they've done their homework, right, Yanko? Was there evidence of homework being done by this, well, multinational roster?
I mean, to an extent, it did seem like they had FaZe's rotations figured out on that T side, and they were always one step ahead of them. But FaZe did, you know, come cold into the game. I mean, Nico had -1 and 7 score. I don't think I've ever seen him have anything close to that. So had an abysmal start to the game, and he's a very important part of that FaZe machine, especially on Nuke, because he is the player who supports outside, holds yard at times. Vitalu, he's the one making the rotates, either towards the lower bomb side or towards the upper bomb side. And he was completely shut down in the beginning of that game. Couldn't provide support to any of his team, and Mouse just did a great job. Most of those rounds weren't even close in the beginning that they were winning.
Yeah, and a bit of fun trivia that we kind of missed out on was, of course, the fact that not only is Nico taking on his old team, but also these are the two of the most, and Alo, of course, as well, but also these are the most diverse rosters in terms of nationalities.
Yeah.
Like, we've got how many, like, almost
Don't
all of them?
repeat that joke, please.
I wasn't doing the joke. I just thought it was interesting when
you
he listed it.
You started doing the fingers.
I was thinking
Wait,
how
what
many.
jokes do you do with your fingers?
There's no jokes on my fingers. I can do this, though.
I can do this one here where I make like a face. There it is. Look at that. Get that one on the camera.
Yeah, so our producer just said, stop being idiots, apparently. Yeah, so we should probably do that.
Well,
but yeah, I'll do a tutorial for that later.
I think obviously the biggest thing out of this match is the fact that it's a huge upset and Mouser continuing to you know, continue on that high that they had.
They're 2-0 at the end of day one. VP are 0-2, and Optic are 2-0. The world is baffling.
And so are we, Alex.
Yeah, indeed. And of course, we saw Cloud9 on that marathon journey as well.
It's interesting that a team like Mouse, who are not as experienced as a team as FaZe, went into the match looking warm, looking ready and raring to go when FaZe were cold. And a lot more of the FaZe players were putting tweets out there like, oh, we've been waiting 10 hours, you know, we really want to play a game. It feels like it got to them mentally where it didn't get to the Mouse guys, and maybe that's what got them across the finish line.
And of course, credit once again to the coach standing behind Mousesports. Of course, lots of kind of words of praise have been thrown towards him as well.
I think that's some complacency that FaZe cannot allow in reality, but they feel like they have the luxury to do so. They feel like they're in the playoffs no matter what, right? While Mousesports still, despite improving a lot, especially in a match against FaZe, you know, Nico, their old teammates and so forth, they're probably feeling like we still need to be 100% focused coming into every game because, you know, making it out of the Swiss stage isn't really guaranteed for us, especially if our second game has to be against FaZe. Well, FaZe is probably like, whatever happens this game, there's no way we're not going to make it out of Swiss. We made it to finals every game, right? Which is not the right way to go about things, but
probably where they're at.
Yes.
Interesting. Now, of course, one thing to add to all of this, and before we move on, we are actually going to jump to G2 NIP, but just one more thing to add is that Dennis could have his dream realized. He's 2 steps in the right direction, 1 more to go. 2-0 up, Mousesports. Dennis could finally get to meet the Lanxess.
It'd be pretty emotional, man.
That
kind of crowd.
You know, as anybody who's attended the event, how loud they get for just good Counter-Strike. Imagine when a German walks out to 12,000 German fans. Let's stop because we're not there yet. But 2 wins to 0. Yanko doesn't like what I'm doing, but I'm going to keep doing it anyway. Got to build some hype at this time of the evening, Yanko. In fact, it's almost good morning.
No, it's just I spent too much time with Anders in the green room. And
talking about the simulation.
It's not even the simulation.
Oh, I know what's going down in Chinatown. Let's talk about the others, though. G2 NIP is our next matchup, our final one of the day, and it's one that I think a lot of people at home, as well as, of course, some of the people in the green room, Freiburg, very excited. May not be on the desk, but he's definitely
hanging around, isn't he?
Yeah, because he wants to see this game. And you guys, I'm sure, are chomping at the bit to see it as well. The first real test is how it was outlined by Adam. The first real test for NIP.
I think it's more than a test, right? G2 are we said the big 3 at the start of the day, right? So far, SK, they lost their opening game. FaZe, they won theirs and then lost to Mouse right now. G2 are the only ones with the chance to go 2-0 on day 1, giving us the opportunity for them to get to the quarterfinals relatively easily. Can they do it? That's the question. And going up against an NIP that looks... The way that it went watching that match earlier that I saw was you have the backbone, the old dogs, Exist, Forest, and Get Right, and they're just doing the default stuff. They're getting the job done. And then Rez and Draken within that unit looked more explosive. They were let off the leash a little bit, and they were flashy, and they were making a lot of frags. So it seems to be working now.
I'm definitely excited just to see how this one does shape up. The odds, though, let's have a little look. I imagine G2 have been given quite the favor, and my gosh, they have. No doubt, or rather, there's a lot of doubts surrounding that of the Swedes, and that's, of course, justified. We've seen one map where we did get to see some flair from Rez, though. Nice little debut from the... I keep calling him a youngster. He's
pretty young. He's like 18, right?
18 years old,
I think it's fair to say he's a youngster. Had a couple of great rounds in the beginning of that game, the USP without the silencer. Just to clear it up.
What's that about?
Yeah, for all the viewers out there, there is no... you're actually at a disadvantage when you take the silencer off because it does less damage, but the only thing is like the placebo of the sound.
It sounds bad.
Sound is the only thing. So in that, I don't know, maybe he prefers the sound of the USP without the silencer rather than P2000. But as long as he makes it work and gets the kills, who are we to judge, Alex? True. What do we know?
And apparently it could have even been a visual bug because the kill feed showed a silencer. So God knows what's going on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, it's our fault.
I got an angry tweet saying, how dare I?
Hashtag
how dare I not look at the kill feed when I'm watching the game? That was my fault.
Yeah.
Anyway, vetoes are ready. Let's have a look.
We were watching
Where
the games.
Do G2 and NIP end up?
Just
one map, 7 in the pool, and already...
Give me cash for the good old days. The Frenchies against the Swedes.
Ooh.
Cash and cash. You don't pick cash against me. Says Exist.
Cash me outside, how about that?
How about that?
Okay, this is what happens when it gets to this time of the evening with these lovely fellows.
It'll be also very interesting because both of these teams played the map already. It's going to be cash, man, I'm telling you.
You've got like a second.
Cash.
Just push the veto.
Yeah, here it comes. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Cash. Yanko's a genius. End of death segment. Should we just end it there, boys? You've done it so well. Why are you so hyped to see Cash of all maps between the French boys and the Swedes?
I don't know. It's just been played so many times between them.
Yeah.
Katowice 2015.
Rolling back the years.
They play it. LDLC NIP Grand Finals. Was Cash played there? I think it was. A couple of great Cash games all in all.
Yeah.
You see how on the T side, you know, NIP, what I liked was that Forrest was just doing whatever he wanted, getting boosted up, just cleaning out mid by himself. Bit more of that, please. Just so fun to watch him play when he's on point.
I think some interesting things about that matchup was the fact that looked on their T side, they were just going for spread picks. They weren't doing very strat-heavy stuff, which is what we came to expect from the old NIP on this map, especially with Threat. I think in this game, if they're going to go for the spread pick, they're just going to get punished by the G2 guys, right? They just get absolutely slammed out because skill for skill, head-to-head, I think that they definitely have the advantage. Obviously,
pound for pound.
Pound for pound. Who do you reckon is the heavier team?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, that's a good question.
They don't really have any heavyweights. That's a problem now. I'd have to go with Frenchies.
So,
Yeah, I think they play
as we guess how much each
really
team
threw me off.
weighs,
Like,
we should
no
probably go
easy
ahead and leave
answer.
it there. Thanks, guys. This has been fun. We've got ourselves in a bit of a pickle. That's right. G2 NIP to end the day. Tell your friends, tell your mum, tell your dog, and make sure they join us, as our casters will be joining you after our break. And we'll leave you with it. G2 NIP Cash to end our first day here at ESL One Cologne.